I vividly remember that day, like everything about that day, the room, the curtains, everything. The doctor pulled back the curtain and she said, "Your kidneys are failing." She even looked confused, and just as I did. I was surprised and shocked. I never imagined that my kidneys were in trouble at all. She said, "We're going to admit you into the hospital." And I'm like, wait, admit me? Why am I being admitted? So I knew then that this is pretty serious. When I got to the emergency room, they immediately assumed that this was a lupus-related event because I had a lupus diagnosis, but I hadn't had any symptoms really of lupus since that diagnosis. I had a biopsy done and they determined that it was focal segmental glomerulosclerosis, and recently found out that it was a result of AMKD. I was a 31-year-old mom, just had a baby. My husband and I were in the prime of our lives. My whole life changed in a moment.
It just hit me, I think I broke down crying. Now what can I do if this happens? What's going to be in place? How is this going to impact our daughter and family and things like that?
So when the doctor said, "You're probably not going to make it. If you get a cold, Sharron, you're probably going to die," I thought about my family and my husband and my daughter, and that was the turning point for me. This is really life or death.
How will I function if I lose my partner? How will her parents function? How will I raise a daughter on my own?
Once you see your child suffering through anything, you're a little fearful, you're anxious. But what I tried to do as she was going through this transition was to provide a positive side. We were just there to support her in any way we could.
So after finding out what FSGS was, I was taking steroids and all kinds of medications in the hospital. One night I was in the hospital and they were giving me shots of heparin in my stomach every night. Probably 3 or 4 in the morning, one of the nurses came in to give me my medication. And she said, "Why are you taking heparin?" She said, "You're not really having circulation issues. You walk around and you move about. I don't think you really need to take this." I thought I was supposed to do whatever I was told to do here. That night changed my whole perspective about advocacy. I realized that I couldn't just sit in the hospital and allow things to be done to me, but that I needed to be the driver for my healthcare. And so I started dialysis, and during that time, when I first mentioned to my siblings that I was gonna be starting, my sister, Shantae, said, "Well, I didn't realize it was this serious." She said, "Well, if you need a kidney, I'll give you a kidney." How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
As her sister, it's kind of like, what can I do? What can I do to make this better? I had no idea until we were, really discussing it that, you can be a living donor. Okay, what is it that I need to do? I'll give you mine. I'll donate my kidney. And it was simple as that. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that we get to this operating table.
Finally, on December 2nd, 2013, we woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and made our way to the transplant center, and it happened. We had our transplant.
It's that day. Hi.
I kept hearing APOL1, and just all of these different things, and they talked about how APOL1 may be related to FSGS. This was genetics all along. I reached out to some of my other kidney warrior friends and decided to just purchase a test to take.
We saw her really being the visionary that she is, that she was going to turn this negative around to a positive. Education is powerful. The more people know or you share, the more you're able to gain knowledge from someone else, and someone else may be there to support you.
I'm privileged to be able to now have more information to then pass on to my daughter. I know that it's not always easy for us to be a part of testing, genetic testing, but I always think about the generations that are coming behind us and how important it is for us to ensure that they're armed with what they need to survive in their generation. We need to get in the driver's seat and be the driving force in what happens to us. Going through genetic testing, getting more information, participating in clinical trials, things like that are the keys. My name is Sharron Rouse. I am from Fort Washington, Maryland. I'm a kidney warrior and a kidney transplant survivor.